2015's weekly wrap-up. Melisma Course again. Don't worry, you're going to see some harmony stuff and some more other artists coming soon. But I've been working hard on the Melisma Course, and you know, this last lesson, this step 14, it's not the last lesson of the course, but it's the last lesson I'm turning out for you guys. And it is so different than all of the rest of the lessons up to this point. And I talk a lot about it in the lesson. It's about creating rhythms by using the English language, by using multiple syllables, combinations of syllables, and seeing where the emphasis is, and even understanding how to accent things and do things with words, with the accents that lead you into creative places. And I put a lot of me into this lesson. Not that I'm not always putting me into every lesson, right? But this lesson was a really honest attempt on my part to share something with you that I think is hard to get. Meaning that you go to various artists and teachers and you want to know this or that, you want to know how to sing higher, you want to sing lower, but you also want to know how this person phrases or how they come up with their ideas. And you know, the problem is with any musician who's been performing, who's a professional, who's been doing it for a long time, is that so much of it is spontaneous. It comes out of them in a spontaneous way, and it's some kind of combination of all of the years of their study and practicing and everything that they are, even emotionally and creatively within their own imagination and mind. So it's hard to put out something that's that and say to anybody, hey, this is how I do it. Because what you usually get out of people is they say, I don't know how I do it. I do it. It just spontaneously comes out of me. Anyway, lesson 14 in the Melisma Course is my attempt to show you exactly that. How I spontaneously create rhythmical ideas, how I phrase, and how even words themselves lead me to places. Now the Melisma Course, again, what melismas are what? Multiple notes on single vowels inside of words. Yeah, you hear me say it all the time. This lesson isn't just about multiple notes on single notes inside of words, but it belongs in the Melisma Course because it's part of when I'm singing melismas and creating licks, and also spontaneously phrasing those licks in different ways, and even doing things with the words. It all comes from the same place. Can you tell I'm excited about this? I am. Anyway, step 14 in the Melisma Course is about how to rhythmically and melodically be spontaneous and create something that sort of just comes out of you. And the idea of the lesson isn't just to show you exactly what I wrote down there. I gave you examples, but it isn't just to give you the examples, but to give you the concept so you'll start to create your own things that way. So I hope everybody who's on the website checks out that lesson and understands the energy of it, because I put a lot of me trying to really explain to you how I do it. Doesn't mean everybody else does it that way, but one person's example of how they create spontaneously. And spontaneously turns out to be knowing a lot of different things or seeing things kind of in a different way. So, step 14, the Melisma Course. Check it out if you're on the site. Now, musical tip of the week. Well, in this section, I want to share two different thoughts with you. One of them isn't exactly musical, but so important for singers, for everybody. And that is, believe it or not, I'm going to talk about this, oral hygiene. You need to have your mouth nice and clean and get all that bacteria out of there for even general health. But when it comes to being a singer, I think it's really important. I work with students day in and day out, year in and year out, and they come in and they talk about, hey, I got this gunk in me all the time, or I have allergies and I have this and that. And we talk about things that you can do for your allergies and allergy season and so forth. And they ask me the questions about drinking milk before a performance, and that's all there. But very few people ever come in and say, hey, what about oral hygiene? And I guess, why would they, right? But I know that it's really important. I have a little ritual. It's really important to me to keep my mouth very clean. And, you know, the moment you do it and you do this, and then you eat some more food and you gick yourself up. But as a singer, there's a difference. If you do my little ritual here, you will notice a difference. You'll notice a difference as a singer. It'll make things easier in your mouth. Okay, here it comes. I sound like daddy right now, but it's true. You have to floss regularly. Get some of that wax floss that's easy to slip through your teeth. Get down in there and floss. You need to do it every day. Brush your teeth. I like using electric toothbrushes. It seems like they do a really good job. I use an electric toothbrush. I floss. Then I rinse my mouth out with Listerine or any type of mouthwash that you like. And all of this that I do is right after a shower. I feel like my hands are clean and that it's a good time to do this. And then after the mouthwash, I actually just rinse my mouth out with regular water. And this is all before breakfast. And then I go have breakfast. And for me, most days that I'm teaching, I actually have just a little bullet drink that I use one of those bullets, and I put some greens in there and some chia seeds and some flaxseed and a few berries and things and some water, and sometimes I add for flavor a little fruit juice type drink, not fully in it but a little bit in there. Zip, do that, drink that, and now I've got stuff on my mouth again. And I actually go back in and rinse my mouth out again, and then 2 or 3 times a week, and this really makes a difference, I have one of those scrapers that you scrape your tongue with. And besides doing all of these other things, with the scraper comes a little foam that you can get. You can get this at any supermarket or any place that you would get dental stuff. And you take that scraper and you put it all the way to the back of your tongue, and you scrape all that icky stuff off, and you leave that stuff that you sprayed on there kind of on there, and you spit it out, and then I go to work. And my mouth is very clean. Does it sound like overkill? Are some of you laughing at me and smiling? Well, go ahead. But that's what I do, and I'm sharing it with you because I want to put every thought I can put on this website about how I do it, because I do it daily. And what do I notice when I come in? If you do things like that, you start to really notice how other people's breath smells and everything else. When I'm teaching, I notice if somebody's coming in and if it seems like there's a lot of bacteria in their mouth. And it's interesting to me because some of those are the people that tell me that they have vocal problems, or they're clearing their throat, or what can they do to not have to clear their throat so much? Why are they doing this? And I usually share with them as gently as I can what I'm sharing with you right now. Be big on oral hygiene if you're a singer. Hey, if you're a guitar player, you polish your guitar. Well, hopefully you do. Or your violin, or if you're a trumpet player, you got to run all that, or any brass player, you got to clean your horn up once in a while, or else it gets all gicky and icky. Well, we're singers. We do not want to get our mouths gicky and icky, and we don't want things running down the back of the throat onto the vocal cords. So, I know I sound like a parent here, but anyway, that's what I do. And your musical tip of the week, first musical tip of the week, is to actually do that take your time and really keep that mouth clean. Second tip of the week, all right, since that was really not about singing, although I believe it will help you be a better singer, I'll give you a little idea about breathing here too. Now, when it comes to breathing, I in the beginning don't talk as much about breathing as a lot of teachers do. And the reason why is because quite often if you get too much into the breathing right from the beginning, it makes people get off of what's natural for them. For me, I'm looking more at how they're balancing things, the positions of their jaws and what's going on with them in a very natural way, not in a contrived way. Again, you're walking down the hallway, you're walking somewhere, you're not thinking about walking. If you can walk, you just walk naturally. But if you start thinking about it, suddenly it becomes, you get off balance even, because now you're thinking about something that you just do in a natural way. Singing is very much that. If you think too much about it, and you get too analytical about everything you're doing, then it starts sounding that way. So right from the beginning, I always like to work with my students and sort of observe what's going on, giving them exercises, teaching them how to sing through their range. But of course, breathing is important, and there's some basic ideas about breathing that are important. And the ability to hold phrases for longer periods of time definitely has to do with your breathing. And the right support as you're singing up and down through your range, if it's wrong, definitely one of the problems could be within your breathing. So, what can we say about breathing? Put your body in a straight line, whether you're sitting or standing. I'm sitting right now, and normally I teach this standing, but I can sit here and put my body, get my shoulders, my head, my neck, my torso all in a straight line, sit up, and as long as I do that, I can take a breath even in this sitting position. Now, just like a glass of water, you turn on the faucet, the water goes to the bottom of the glass, fills from the bottom of the glass to the top of the glass, not from the top to the bottom. That's the way some people breathe. They breathe from the top to the bottom. That's wrong. If you're putting air into your chest before you drop air down lower into your lungs, you think you're taking a big breath, but you're not. You think like that, and then you go to you sing a little bit, and you run out of breath too quick, and you go, I can't hold a note very long. I took a big breath. Well, what's wrong with me? You didn't take a big breath. You just felt like you did. Instead, you want to be more relaxed and think lower. Put your hands on your lower back. Take a breath. And feel some expansion off your back, because you can feel your lungs more by putting your hands in your back than you can up in front, or even here on your waist. So, hands in the lower back. Take a breath. Expand, but as you're expanding, don't lock there. Don't belly breathe like a yoga breath and just take a breath and then fill up here. Take the breath, fill up here, and then continue on up so it feels like now it comes up into your chest, and then the intercostals, your ribs will expand a little bit. That expansion is a full breath. And you kind of want to feel like when you take a full breath, like you're standing on a mountaintop or you're at the beach where the air is wonderful, one of those places, and you take one of those wonderful breaths of life just to enjoy what it feels like to take a great breath. That's a singing breath. Take that breath of enjoyment that you do in a place where the air is wonderful. Do you take the air through your mouth or your nose? Another question. And the answer is, sometimes you can take the air through your nose. It warms and moistens the air more, and it's better for your vocal cords. But lots of times when we're singing, we just don't have time to take the air through the nose. When you can, take it through your nose. That's a good thing. When you can't, when you have to take a quicker phrase, take it through the mouth. Take it through the nose, take it through the mouth, but no matter what you do, get that same expansion going from the bottom to the top, like that glass of water. The water goes to the bottom, fills to the top. The air goes down to the bottom, expands and fills up into the top. Don't overstuff yourself full of air. If you take too much air, fill yourself up like you're all stuffy, that's no good, because that actually ends up putting pressure on your throat. And it's always all about air pressure anyway in singing. Even how you take a breath will have to do with how that back pressure helps you keep a compression and keeps your vocal folds sealed for a good seal for singing, or you're all like you're all full of breath. That's going to create tension in here and cause these muscles that we want to be activated to activate. Nice, smooth, beautiful breath. That's your second musical tip of the week. Now, if you're on YouTube, I hope I'm helping. And if you want to learn more about voice I beg you, please come on over. I'm not begging. I just know that this is a really good website and that it's honest and that I'm putting every bit of information that my many years of teaching voice and my experiences are all here. It's the real deal. You can learn a lot about singing from someone who's been teaching singing for a very long time. So totallyvocals.com. We've got all kinds of things on the site. Songs and breakdowns and courses and anything that you can think of about voice, from harmony singing to ear training to beginning, intermediate to advanced singing to teaching melismas and much more. So come on over to totallyvocals.com. See you guys next time.